IMAX has been a big part of movies for almost 2 decades, exploding into popularity with The Dark Knight and continuing its run with The Odyssey hitting theaters this July. IMAX has proved itself to be superior when it comes to filmmaking. Transformers has been a huge part in the success and the rise of IMAX, and it all started in 2007 with the release of the first movie. Even though Transformers 2007 was not shot with IMAX cameras, it received a digital remastering for the format. It was even released with an extended cut in IMAX theaters. This extended edition added 2 minutes of extra footage during the final battle. And even though the movie only brought in a mere $13 million from IMAX sales, it paved the way for a sequel in 2009 that aimed to be bigger, louder, and better. In 2009, Transformers Revenge of the Fallen followed The Dark Knight's footsteps and became the second movie ever to be filmed with 1570mm IMAX cameras. These cameras allowed for the footage to expand to the 1:3 aspect ratio during select scenes. And because the footage was shot on IMAX film, the animators had to work 8 times harder to ensure everything seen on screen was crystal clear. Key scenes that received this special treatment are the Force battle and the Devastator combination sequence. This movie turned out to have a huge profit, bumping up the $13 million to $40 million in IMAX sales. This movie is only one of 15 movies in history to be shot with this special IMAX technology. And even though this movie was physically huge, the same cannot be said for its sequel. Transformers Dark of the Moon hit theaters in June of 2011 and quickly became one of the highest grossing movies of the year and the 5th highest grossing movie of all time. But director Michael Bay did not use traditional IMAX cameras. Instead, he opted for native 3D cameras and worked closely with Avatar director James Cameron to ensure full immersion when seen in theaters. Even though the movie wasn't shot with IMAX cameras, it was heavily marketed for the IMAX 3D format. The movie received a digital remastering along with the native 3D scenes. The movie went on to break several records, including bumping up the revenue from Revenge of the Fallen from $40 million to $60 million in IMAX sales. So obviously, things needed to step up for the next one. In 2014, Transformers Age of Extinction became the first movie in history to utilize a native IMAX 3D camera. This way, the movie could still be shot in 3D and also maintain the digital IMAX 1:90 aspect ratio without ever needing digital remastering. IMAX had a huge role in this movie, taking up 65% of all the footage shot. The movie quickly became the highest grossing movie of 2014 and made $45 million just from IMAX sales at the end of its run. And even though audiences were divided on the movie, it still managed to become a giant summer blockbuster. But then, things took a turn for the worse. Transformers The Last Knight released in theaters on June 21st, 2017 and earned a record low of $69 million domestically during its opening weekend. The movie also used the same IMAX technology present in Age of Extinction, taking up almost 98% of the footage seen on screen. Even though this was a new milestone for movies, the movie received horrible reviews and only made $30 million in its IMAX sales, and $605 million at the end of its theatrical run. Unfortunately, the franchise would never recover from this. The movies would never be close with IMAX again, with Bumblebee, Rise of the Beast, and Transformers 1 all not being shot with digital IMAX cameras and maintaining the standard aspect ratio in IMAX theaters. But there is still hope. With Michael Bay returning to the franchise, there's still a huge possibility Paramount and IMAX will take advantage of the opportunity to partner up and give us the best cinematic experience possible. IMAX has changed the way we perceive movies forever and will continue to until the end of time.